Hi everyone, this is Gail. So today is day 2 of a 5-day challenge that I've started that is called, let me just get the clear title. Yeah, it's Kicking Fear to Confidently Start Your Own Online Business. And so I'm going to take the example of a coaching business for online business. And this is what I do. So that's basically why I wanted to share with you what are the main fears that you may encounter. I'm a life and business coach, and I basically help women to reclaim their personal freedom, be who they truly are, and do what they really love. And often that goes through starting your own business to completely have the flexibility and the freedom of traveling, the freedom of hi, welcome. So having an online coaching business allows women to really have the freedom of being who they are, being in their zone of genius, and have thank you for the heart. Yeah, you can tap on the screen if you desire to tell me like this is resonating with you and you want to share with me how much it resonates. So basically I made the leap 2 years ago. I moved from like a corporate job, very well paid communication manager job, and this job wasn't really aligned with my values 2 years ago. So I decided that I would just move forward and find what is my next move. And now the lifestyle that I have and through my business and the life that I have built actually allows me now to travel. I'm originally French, and so traveling is really important for me because during the winter I live in Mexico in the Caribbean, and then during the summer that allows me to go to France to be able to see my family, see my 2 nieces, and so in between I go to the US because I used to live in the US for like 8 years and I still love it. So that's kind of like really that lifestyle that I've been wanting to create for me and that I now have. And so I created this challenge to really empower women to really have this freedom, because it's amazing what we can do when we are truly ourselves, when we really do what we love. And so I know how much inspiring it can be for you to be able to build your own business. And I really want you to feel that fire within you as we go through the 5 days together, because that's the reason why I do what I do. That's why I just love empowering women to find their freedom financially, their freedom of thinking, of being location free if they're like me, if they love to travel, to be able to go like 2 months in France or wherever, if Thailand, if Bali is, if Brazil is your thing, just like go wherever you want for several months at a time, and being able to work from there and still have an impact in the world from there. And so I know also, how women blossom through travels. And that's why that's part actually of some of my retreats called Finding Yourself Abroad. I really know how much knowledge we gain from traveling, from meeting different cultures and seeing different things in the world. And I really know also the impact we can have if you're volunteering through your travels, you know what I mean, how much impact we can have like this. And so please feel free to share this Periscope. The way to share it, if you're on an iPhone, it's swipe right if you're on an iPhone, and if it's on Android, which is what I have, so it's like swipe up. So what we're gonna do is that I'm going to share with you content about the 9 fears for about, let's say, maybe 10-15 minutes. And then I would like you to hold your questions until the end so that I can stay focused on the on the topic and the content I want to deliver you, and then I promise I will answer all your questions. So the best is if you have a piece of paper, like, I don't want you to like keep thinking about it. I want you to listen and really take in the content. So just write your questions on a piece of paper, and then when I open for questions, feel free to let me know and I'll answer them. And so just a reminder, this 5-day challenge, you can actually win a 1-hour coaching session with me. So it's really, really cool. And all you have to do for that is you join live and you ask one question. And then you go onto the Facebook group called Finding Yourself Abroad, Reclaiming Your Personal Freedom, to share your insights each day about the question I ask, which is kind of like the work you have to do, and your insights. And so I know you may be already thinking like, okay, this is like, there is a resistance or something. But believe me, I've chose these two very strategically because I know that the women who are going to take actions, who are going to do the work, are actually the women who will achieve their goals. And so that's why it's really important for me to really offer that opportunity to these women who are making it happen to have this 1-hour free coaching session with me. So make sure you're doing the work. If you're just here and spending time on Facebook or spending time, reading newsletters of other people, listening to Periscope, but not doing anything, you're just going to stay where you are. Like, you have to take actions. That's super important for you to reach your goals, because by taking actions, you will be able to see, what works, what doesn't. And then you're going to be able, thank you for the hearts, thank you. Then you're going to be able to know how to course correct. When you have a plane flying, then did you know that like 99% of the time, it's actually course correcting its trajectory because of multiple factors around the plane, And so, yes, they have a goal, go from Paris to Mexico, for example. But then on the flight, they are course correcting because they are adjusting and they know their direction. So really take actions, because then you will know, is that getting me closer to my goal or not? What else can get me closer to my goal, basically? And so then I said everything for that. So today's agenda is overcoming the 10 common fears women feel when starting their own business and their own online coaching business. Before we start, as usual, I want us to just take 2 seconds to set an intention. I want you to feel like have a meaningful, have a mindful time together. And so basically, I want you to think, okay, why are you here? What is it that you are trying to achieve today by listening to this Periscope and by following this 5-day challenge in general? So just take a second, to really refocus your energy. You may have been running around doing some stuff on this morning, but just focus your energy. Now you're here, set your intention. I want you to tell me, you can use the chat box if you want. I want you to tell me what is your intention? Maybe this is the day where you're okay, I want to identify what is the fear that is blocking me, and I want to kick it. I'm done. I really want to be able to, hi Adam, I really want to be able to really kick that fear and make the first step to start my own business. And so set an intention so your energy can really, really focus. And if you feel good about it, feel free to share it. Otherwise, we can start. So the first fear that I have my notes here. I'm sorry, because 10. I want to make sure I address all of them. The first fear that women especially have when they start their coaching business, or any business for that matter, is, what if I fail? What if people see me fail? And so that's something that is really big. Yeah, let me know, tap on that screen if you relate, because then I can really adapt the content. And yeah, what if I fail? That's a very, very big one, honestly. you have to understand that like everybody fails. Like it's a shift into the way you see failures. Everybody fails. Every entrepreneur fails. We fail at launching programs. We fail at trying an idea that end up not working the way we wanted. And so what's important for you is to really have a mentor. Like I failed until I got a mentor, I got a system, and sometimes business is good, but some startups fail one after another. Yeah, that's true. So basically, if you find a mentor, if you have, if you follow the system, the marketing, the sales that these people are doing, then you really, like, it worked. It's basically like millions are doing it. Millions are successful about it. And so this is something like, I want you to remember when you were new, when you were going out of college or out of school and you found your first job. I'm pretty sure that what you've done on that job was totally new compared to what you did in your school. So let's take my example, for example. I did like a food science engineer school. And when I went into working for my corporate company that was a flavor company, and I was working in the sensory department in research, they asked me to do stuff about statistics and sensory tests that I had a vague overview at school, but I definitely wasn't like super on top of it, because in my engineering school we had like 5 different majors and different things to talk about and to study. And so for 6 months I couldn't do anything. I was learning on the job. I had to learn all of those that the company wanted me to do. And what, after 6 months, it was like if I knew it from the beginning. And so you really have to find somebody who has done it before you, so that you can really learn from those people about what has worked and what hasn't worked. You don't need to do that all by yourself. You don't need to figure it out doing all the mistakes that many of us have done before you. So you have to realize that people who do the work see the results. So find the mentor, find the system that works, and then you have to do the work. Again, it's the same as what I've said before. Knowing the system, knowing and reading about the system is not going to do you any good. You have to do the work. You have to put the actions into place. And I want you to really understand that there is a system to be successful in having a coaching business online. It's not like a chance, like the person next to you has been very lucky, she has a different background, blah, blah, blah. It's you have your chance as much as the person next to you. And so really get into that, that work about yourself, to really say like, I'm going to try, I'm going to fail, I'm going to course correct, and I'm going to succeed. The variation of that fear of failure is also a fear that it can't get any better than what you have. I certainly had that for myself. It took me 2 years since the beginning of the idea that I wanted to quit my job or that my job wasn't working, etc. It took me 2 years to make the leap, because honestly the job was really good and I was creating excuses. It was not that bad, but I really wanted to leave for like a year and a half. And so I really was like, yeah, and you know what? I have this awesome life, this like duplex into the super nice neighborhood in town. I was living in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I was just like, yeah, this is really good. Why would I rock the boat and go into something like I've built 10 years this career? It's like I'm gonna get rid of it. What? So that was really a fear of letting go of 10 years of something that I have built, not knowing for what, thinking that it can't get any better than this. But believe me, it does get better. And so you really have to believe in that. There is no ceiling, like we call it the upper limit, you know. If you have a problem with the upper limit, you're just thinking that this is the maximum you can achieve, but it's not true. You can achieve much more. All right? So, So yeah, people, who have done it, have just tried and they keep going at it. So I really encourage you to be persistent and keep going at it. The second fear is I am not an expert. Who has that? Tap on the heart, tap on your screen. I am not an expert. How would I be coaching people? Okay, so it's all relative. Basically, if you're not an expert, it's relative. If you want to be like swimming, for example, if you want to learn swimming, are you going to call up the coach of like the Olympic team, for example? No, you're not going to do that. Why? Because this coach is so far from where you are, like his advices would be completely irrelevant. You need to find somebody who is closer to you and from where you can start and where you're starting from. So you are a relative expert. I want you to understand that the closer you are to the people you are coaching, the better you can relate to them. Because as we evolve, basically, you're just going so far ahead that coaching somebody who is just starting, it's not working. Let me give you an example, like with yoga, for example. I've been into yoga classes where teachers are using like all those Sanskrit names for like the positions. Does that help the beginner who is starting? I hate when they do that, because basically it doesn't give a chance to a beginner to know what they are doing and to feel part of the community and feel part of the class. So when I teach yin yoga, I'm trying to make it as the most basic as possible, because I want the beginner to be able to follow and know what's going on. I remember when I started, with the chakra, for example, learning the chakra, you would have asked me like 6 years ago, it was super hard to learn. Like there were 7 to learn. It was super hard. And now it's just so natural for me. I know what they do. I still don't know the name because I just don't believe in learning the names, I don't think it helps anybody, but I know what they are for. I know what they are doing. I know how to manage them, and I know how to balance them. That's what I need to know. And so for somebody who doesn't know anything about energy work, then I can help them understand. So what I really want you to do, and that's like the inner work you have to do for today, is write all your credentials. Write every achievement you've made into your life. Anything that you're expert on, because someone at the beginning of the journey that you took is waiting for you to help them. So tell me, share with me, what are the things that you think you can be expert on? What are the things that you would like? Do you guys can you just send me a comment? I want to see if I see the comments or not, because I'm not sure. If you can just share with me some comments, I would really help, because I want to know your stories as well. But I don't see the chat. Here, thank you. Yeah, that's true. Like I had one. Good. All right. So write every credential that you have, every achievement, so that you can really see what is the expertise inside of you. Now, number 3 is, why would people trust me? Fear number 3. Why would people trust me? Very good question. Oh, awesome. Making a new website. Congrats. So I was also, really scared on not being good enough. When you get out there, you're like, people are not going to trust me, like I'm not good enough. But honestly, at the beginning, I built relationship. I gave a ton of values to people, and I really connected with people by really being relatable to them. So that slowly built my credibility. You have to remember, it's like when you enter into a room full of people, you are going to learn about them. You're going to build relationship. They're going to ask you what you're doing as a work. And so that happens naturally for you to just now then talk and people trust. Like if you're talking about your current job, or when I used to talk about sensory, and still now actually, if I talk about flavors, if I talk about sensory, what was my job before, people will trust me because I am an expert on this. This was my job. So whether it's a passion you have and spending ton of time about it, people will trust you. Hold on, I'm gonna drink a little bit. So honestly, every new business owners feel like they're not going to be able to give value. But like I said, there are a lot of people who really are looking for that value that you have to give to them because they don't know about it and they really want to learn about it. I really have to check on what's going on. Hi, Tara. I just got disconnected after 23 minutes of doing my Periscope and I'm like, what happens? I don't know. So I was going to go into like the number 4, fear. Hi, Tara. Yeah. So the fear number 4 I want to talk to you about is basically when you're thinking like, how can my offer be unique? How can I differentiate myself into doing coaching? And so I want you to really remember when you are offering your packages and things like that into your coaching business, I really want you to think about following your passion. I want you to follow what you really love. For me, it's retreats. I love to transport people into like a sensory experience. It's like really a journey where they get out of their common environment to come to see me either in Mexico or in France and to really have breakthrough. That's what I'm passionate about. It's a mix of like the experience I had in my life, and it's also a mix of my personality. And so the second thing I love doing and what I'm doing right now is empowering you to really reclaim your personal freedom, to really start your own business, because I want you to believe in yourself. And I really want you, to experience getting the financial freedom you deserve, finding the quality time, the passion that you deserve. So who I am is what makes me unique, and it's the same for you. Basically, like who you are is what is going to make your offer unique. So again, like I have an extensive background in sensory, and that's why I love doing retreats. There are coaches, for example, and you may have experienced some. There are coaches who are super slow. It's just like, it's amazing. Hi, thanks for the heart. Yeah, tap on the screen to show me your love and show when you're resonating. So basically, there are coachings who are super, super slow, and others, they are super rude, like they are swearing like a sailor. And I hate that. So what I've realized is that coaches who are super slow, but like they're speaking like a turtle, basically, super slow. When you hear their clients, they're the same. They're speaking at the same speed. On the other side, you're going to have coaches who are like dynamite, like they're moving all around, they're super active, jumping everywhere. And guess what? Those people are going to attract people who are jumping everywhere. Same as the coach who is swearing is going to attract clients who are unbothered and probably are swearing. Like, the words I'm gonna say in my entire life is gonna be like shit or fucking something, and that's it. And so I am attracting people and women who have like, either something similar like my background, like an engineer degree or some degrees, that understand that there is like this international flavor to me because I'm French. I lived in Switzerland, the US. Now I live in Mexico, and I travel all over those countries now. So what's making you unique? Tell me, like, what is the one thing? And for sure, like there are other women who are traveling like me, etc. But traveling plus flavor plus sensory plus being French, all of that is making me pretty unique. And what am I coaching on as well? So it could be like that there is a coach that is exactly like me, but maybe that person is going to coach on mindset, or coach on health, or coach on I don't know, like baby sleep or whatever. I am not, because I am seriously not expert in baby sleep. babies in general as well. So what is making you unique? You know, really like tap into that and really know that there are the different offerings, you know, in coaching is like either it's one-on-one, either it's group program, and I really want you to feel authentic and close to people. Some clients came to me and told me that they didn't like the group program. They felt lost, they felt overwhelmed. They were really grateful for like having one-on-one support so that it can be customized to their needs. If you like to have like 10 women around you to coach, be my guest, do group coaching. There is no right or wrong answer. Like really what fuels you is where you're going to be successful. If you're pushing to do a group coaching because for whatever reason you think this is the next step and you hate having 10 women with you, don't do it. Now, the fear number 5 is I have no idea what I'm doing. I feel overwhelmed, I'm confused, there is just too much, I'm scared. So tell me if you relate to that. Really, are you resonating with that? You know, just tap your screen and give me hearts if you're resonating with this one. I want to tell you thank you. So I want to tell you, we all started there. We were all confused. We were all overwhelmed. Because honestly, when you start a business, especially in coaching, there's a ton of things to learn. There is coaching per se. There is sales, marketing, how to position your message. There is so many things. But again, there is a system. The easiest thing to do first is to find someone who has done what you want to do. And then you follow them. And then you ask them questions. And they can help you get where you want to be. And they can show you the steps, basically. When starting the business, there is, like I said, sales, marketing, and the easiest way is to find a mentor who really can support you. And you don't need to reinvent the wheel. I remember at the very beginning when I had this idea of being a coach and this sign that I was meant to be a coach, I bought the Handbook of Coaching. It's like, I don't know, it's a big book. And I was reading about all those different coaching types and coaching programs, like coaching, you have Gestalt, you have other type of coaching. And I was like, wow, I'm a research scientist. So I was like, I can just compute like all the knowledge I know and find something. And then I was like, that's going to be pretty stupid. That's going to give me like 10 years to figure it out, something that many, many people have done and that they can show me in a heartbeat. And so I took, a 1-year coaching and online business program to really get that quantum leap and that jump to get faster where I wanted to be, because it was useless for me to try to reinvent the wheel. So there's a lot of information on internet. You can definitely figure it out. Just, sometime not all information is amazing, so take it with a grain of salt. But if you are already overwhelmed by that idea of like going on internet and looking for everything about the coaching business you would like to do, I have one tip for you. At the beginning, if you're overwhelmed, focus on only the money-making activities. You will hear a lot of different strategy, a lot of things, and I really want you to focus on like, okay, what is making me money? If I'm doing this, is that going to make me money? And don't get caught up onto the excuses, like example. I want to do a blog because I'm going to share my knowledge and that's going to bring me people. Blog is not a money-making activity. I'm telling you right off the bat. If you want to really have money-making activities, you need to book calls. You need to really connect with the people. So that's how you can prioritize what you're going to work on. Now, fear number 6. I love it because that was me for 2 years. It's like, I need one more training. I need one more thing. I need to do one thing, one more book I need to read. That's never going to end. This fear of never being ready is never going to end. And you will stretch yourself to do new things you're not ready for. And that's okay. So there is no right time. There is always one reason to put it off. And I feel like that's going to be the thing, like for me, definitely that's the thing that blocks me. You know, even when I create new program or new offers, it's always like, no, but I'm not ready, blah, blah, blah. No, just do it. Just do it. There is no perfect. Perfectionism actually is a killer because you're never going to reach it. Just do good enough and well enough and course correct to get better. So, yeah, like I said, you know, I said it earlier when I was in my corporate job, the job was good enough that I created a ton of excuses that I needed something else. And the best time is definitely sooner. You will hear that from everybody who started their own company. It's like, I wish I had done it sooner. I would have gotten the job I wanted sooner. I would have gotten the lifestyle I wanted sooner. And so, again, there is nothing new, you know, like you will have so many things to learn all your life when you're building a business that the business evolves with you. There is a system, and just get okay with that fear. It's the same as when you started your first job out of college. It's like you didn't know anything and you learn. So that's going to be the same. You're going to start your business and you're going to learn the first thing about your business. And then you are going to make your business evolve and you're going to have to learn new things that come with the evolution of your business. So on-the-job training is really also happening when you have your own business. And honestly, it's the best training. Okay, so just get on that training and ignore all the other books and all the other like newsletter and free webinar you want to watch. Now, fear number 7. I'm gonna look stupid if I put myself out there, if I make a mistake. So basically, it's the fear of making the first step. You know that taking the first step is really a big statement into the world, and that going for your dreams are scary. Having people looking at you, people will criticize you. Thank you for the hearts. People will criticize you. They will be judging you. And it's going to happen. And I know it's super scary, but let's switch that view that you have about that. Honestly, like, days happened where I had posted stuff that were probably impossible to understand. There are videos that I've made that probably I knew what I meant, but nobody else was. And I was completely overwhelmed. There are I was in France last week, and you know, juggling like the work and the last week in France, I was totally overwhelmed. And it was really like, you know, the woman way of like just getting super overwhelmed and everything was big. Anyway, now I feel better. And I was totally down in a hole that day for like, I remember it was the Monday. And it's an added plus, honestly, because you are more relatable. Like, you're not that Barbie doll, you know, the perfect Barbie, perfect person that doesn't look like anyone. So be fine with making mistakes, with learning, because that makes people feel closer to you. Nobody's perfect. Just drop trying to be the perfect student, perfect everything. We are humans. That's okay. We are making mistakes. We are learning from them. That's totally fine. And so what I want you to start thinking about to kind of shift your mindset around making mistakes. So when you get onto that first step and getting outside and sharing your message with the world, people are going to criticize, people are going to judge, and I want you to celebrate your first hater. So some people are going to hate you because that's not because of you, you know, that's because of the space they are in life. And I want you to celebrate them, because the day you have one post or one mail or one thing you say at a conference or a networking event that makes other people hate you, that day you will know that you've reached a specific milestone, that you're big enough that people are caring. And honestly, just get over it. This is totally has nothing to do with you. It's just like from where they are, this is what you're saying, or your success is, rushing some emotion probably from the past, etc., to them, and so they just express that emotion as hating you. But I want you to get over it and really live for yourself, not for like, John or Bob or like Lisa thinking about you. Like, you live for yourself. Just let them away. You matter more than what they are thinking at the beginning when you start. And so some people are going to be supporting, some people are going to be not supporting of you when you start. And so what? You know what? I guarantee you they will actually be super envious because you go for your dreams and you go reach and align with who you are. And that is this is going to be inspiring. These are the same people who are going to come see you a year or two from now asking you like, I really want to do what you've done, and can you tell me about it? And that's when you're going to be able to teach them what you've learned. Fear number 8 is about, I don't have enough money to invest. I'm scared of investing, and like, what if it doesn't work? And I'm sorry, like it's itching me. I've been there, honestly. It's really not a happy place to be. The reason why I did that switch, the trigger for me to make that switch from corporate to entrepreneurship is because my 2-year-old niece was growing up. I was just seeing her like a weekend per year, honestly, because she lives in France and I was in the US at that time, and I was just super scared. I had at the same time like a doctor appointment that didn't turn out super good, and we needed to do tests to verify, and thank God it was good, it was all right. But that day I really wondered. I was like, okay, what am I doing with my life? And if I don't have all my life to live, what do I want to do? And so that's really when I realized I was so far from my family. It was it for me. Like, I really wanted to be able to see them more and to see my niece grow up. And in that moment, really, it's when I realized, the corporate job I had, I wasn't able to do that, and that I had to design that new life for myself, because I really wanted to spend more time per year with them. And I knew entrepreneurship was the right solution, but it was just super scared to invest. I had money in the bank. It was scary because I quit my job without a plan B. And so I knew I was living on like a set number of savings. And I did make mistakes, I did hire like a private coach for like, I think it was 3.6K, and she wasn't that good. She was just showing up once a week. She wasn't really serious, and she wasn't really providing me with breakthrough and values. And I could have think, that, okay, this is it. I don't want to invest more. I had one client while I was coaching with that person, and I did a sale one day of like 4.7K, so $4,700. And so, that way, the money found its way back to me, basically. And so I in some way, what I invested, I gained back plus benefit. But I kept being really determined into investing more, because I knew that this wasn't like, okay, I got burnt, but I invested almost immediately. It's like when we say to kids like to go back onto the bicycle when they fall. It was the same. Like, right away I invested $3,000 more into like a business coach, and I also took like a $4,000 investment into a program. Did I feel like shit for a week before investing? Definitely. Yeah, it was because the fear, because my parents are government workers, and so I grew up with that pre-programming that you really have to save. And so investing so much like that was just so scary in such a little time. And sometimes it takes money to make money, honestly. And you really have to invest in your business if you really want to be an entrepreneur. There is no, you have to go big. You really have to live and believe in yourself and make that investment to get it back. Like I said, my first investment, I invested 3.6K and I got 4.7K. So it's like, you can't wait to have your first client to learn about it. You learn about it and do the actions, and that brings you the first client. And it's also, an investment of time. I remember at the beginning, I really was spending a lot of time when I was in my corporate job, and then I honestly had to quit my corporate job to really have like all that headspace to think about my work, my business. So I don't necessarily recommend it to everybody, but yeah, I was just so frustrated to have like 2 or 3 hours every night to think about my business that I quit, and I had enough savings. But it is an investment of time. And honestly, when I got freed from my corporate job, I spent all my hours into my business. But you know what? I wanted to do that because I know that the time I was putting in my business would allow me to have the life I want in the future. And so honestly, the life I want is the life I'm building is really like having a daughter and being able to spend time with her when she's not in school, having time to go on vacation with her, with a family, but really I want to be able to have time to spend with my kids instead of like having to run around. And I see friends, in not so far, I was in Paris, and my friend would come back at like 7-8 p.m. at home. I don't think that's a life. And so that's what I'm thriving for. And that's what really is fueling me, is that when I have my family, I can really enjoy time. Like the time I put now, I will gain it back when I have a family, basically. Fear number 9 is fear of not making enough money. Let me know, tap on your screen if you have this fear in starting your online coaching business. Fear of not making enough money. You're not sure if we'll be able to earn an income that is either equal to your past income, your corporate income, or to basically supplement a lifestyle that you have more freedom. And I really had a good career in my corporate job, and I was afraid of not making at least the same amount in my business. And I feared, of course, that I would go back to corporate, that I would have to. And that's why I say now, you have to build your business while you're still in corporate. If you are still in corporate, just build your business on the side, because it's going to give you so much more freedom to know that you have a paycheck that is coming to take care of the basics, your rent, your lodging, your food, and stuff like that. And that way you can exit your corporate job much faster, basically, because if you have the fear of money when you're building your business, this is actually going to decrease your creativity. And you really need to see that having money coming in is a blessing. Because when you build your business, that is providing you with a security. And take care of, the basic, like I said, with corporate salary. If it's hard with the time management, if you really have to do it, yes, go ahead. And this is personally why I got out earlier. Again, it's the headspace. I needed that time to think and be creative. My job was really demanding as well. And so be super disciplined on your time, because then you can actually, really say no to things that are less important than your business. So when you are working both your job and or whatever work you have to do to make sure you have the basics covered, and your idea, your dream idea and your business idea, make sure you're managing your time very well and really say no to anything that is not as important as your business. And sometimes it's friends, and yes, sometimes I spend some months not seeing a lot of friends or being very selective, but that's what it takes, honestly. Now, fear number 10 is trying to sell something to someone. If you didn't have a corporate job in sales, that might be a fear that's going to show up. And so honestly, at the beginning when I was doing my calls, I actually had a script that I would follow to sell to people, because this is something that was new. I had to learn it. And when I go back and see what are the sales that were the best for me, it's the sales that were organic. It's the sales that I didn't have the pressure, and I was really talking about my passion, and I was really talking like if I was talking to a friend. You have to realize that, when you do the coaching, you may have a certification in coaching, but you have to realize that selling is super, super important in your business. And so I'm all for having coaching certification, but the problem with those certifications is they're not teaching you online business and how to build a business. Selling is really an exchange of energy, like you give a service for money, and so you shouldn't be fearing doing the sale. This is what basically I help my client jumpstart their business and the lifestyle they desire, because then they can go and impact others. And so me selling my services is actually having a ricochet, because that woman will be able to help other women, whether it is about health issues or about coaching in career transformation, whatever is my client doing. I know that this is going to have an impact on more people than just her. I remember, the people around my clients are also benefiting from the coaching I do on my clients, because their environment is changing. So selling comes with practice. Honestly, don't be scared about that. So we go back, to the example of your first job where you didn't know that skill, and you learn as you were on the job. So you are in business. You really, the more money you do, the more impact you can have around you, for your family, for your community, the people you love. And so really own that. Own the fact that you can have this impact. The more money you make, the more impact you can have on people. So that's all. These are the 10 fears. That's all I wanted to talk about. Obviously, it takes me an hour to talk about that, because I love talking about it. Tomorrow we will talk about shutting down self-doubt to gain limitless success, because self-doubt is what is blocking you most of the time. And if you need to see the replays, or if you just jumped on it and want to see the part 1 or the beginning, get on the email list to receive all the replays at the end of this challenge, as well as the workbook with all the important questions to ask yourself. To do that, you can go on to my website, www.gaillecourt.com. So it's GAELLELECOURT.com. And you will see when you arrive, under the picture banner, there's a picture banner on top, there is the menu. In between those two, in sandwich, you have the latest news, and you have this 5-day challenge. So you click on learn more, and you will be able to enter your email for being on the email list, and you will receive the replays and the workbook at the end. So thank you very much for all of you who have been joining live. I really appreciate it. Do remember to post all your insights in the Facebook group called Finding Yourself Abroad, Reclaiming Your Personal Freedom, so that you can get my feedback if you need it and if you want it. And you also get a chance, like I said earlier on this video, you can get actually a chance to win a 1-hour coaching session with me to talk about your business and see what you need to what's missing or what you need to tweak to really thrive into your business. So that's really, really cool. And remember, like I mentioned yesterday, I want to tell you again about that. I have room actually to take 5 of you on a business breakthrough assessment in the next couple of days. So if you need my help, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you need to burst a fear that is staying with you, if you want to be clear on your business idea, just book a complimentary 20 minutes Biz Breakthrough assessment with me. You go on calendly.com/Gail Lecourt. So it's calendly.com/Gail Lecourt, GAELLELECOURT. Thanks again. Very great energy, great feedback. Thank you very much for all the hearts. Thank you for setting up this intention and being high vibe. Make sure you follow me on Periscope at Lecourt Coaching, and that you are also in the Facebook group so that you can post your comment. And tomorrow, same place, same time. So that is Periscope at Lecourt Coaching at 12 p.m. New York time. And enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.